If you're an avid treasure hunter and have dreams about hitting it big, then you'll be interested what's in this video. I have 5 treasures that are supposedly buried or hid somewhere in the American Southwest. There is one treasure from 5 different states, and each of these treasures are worth an absolute fortune today. So let's get into it. This first treasure is about a pile of gold coins stashed somewhere in Arizona. It was back in 1873 that a man named McAllen and an unknown partner in crime decided to rob a stagecoach near Canyon Station, which was close to Kingman. On this stage was a strongbox that held the payroll for the army stationed at Fort Mojave. The stage driver turned over the loot and the bandits let the stage move on without a gunfight of any kind. Turns out this strongbox had over $70,000 worth of gold coins. The 2 bandits had no sooner counted up their booty of stolen loot when they realized there was a posse coming for them. They quickly buried the strongbox and headed out, but McAllen's partner got shot in the escape and died, and McAllen himself was arrested and sent to the Yuma Territorial Prison. McAllen died in prison. However, while on his deathbed, he did tell his fellow prisoner about the gold and where it was. Once the other prisoner was set free, he went out to find this treasure. However, he never found anything, and until this day, no one has found this 70 grand worth of gold coins. That amount of gold today would be worth more than $7 million. Now, this is a story that can make you really wonder. I have read a few different versions of this story, so I am not really sure which version is totally correct, but I'm going to give you a couple of the versions here and let you, the listener, decide. In 1857, a prospector named George Yunt discovered a rich vein of gold in the Sierra Nevada mountains on a small creek that ran into the Kern River. George was well known for cooking his meals in a large Dutch oven, which he always carried with him, earning him the nickname Dutch Oven. After mining out a considerable amount of gold from the mine, George buried a healthy stash of his treasure somewhere near his camp, fearing theft from rival prospectors. George later fell ill and died in a nearby mine camp, never to return to his buried gold. For years, treasure hunters have scoured the area near the Kern River, hoping to find Yunt's lost gold stash, but to this very day, it remains undiscovered. Now the second version of the lost Dutch oven goes like this. A man by the name of Tom Schofield was out doing some prospecting in the Clipper Mountains when he came across a spring. Near the spring was a sign of an old foot trail. Tom followed the trail to where it led into what looked like an old Spanish camp. While walking around this abandoned campsite, he tripped over what would be the lid of an old rusted-out Dutch oven. Inside of this old Dutch oven, he found it to be plump full of gold nuggets. There was so much gold that he couldn't carry it all, so he filled all of his pockets and then buried the rest. Once he got back to town, he was quick to celebrate his find. However, when he returned into the Clipper Mountains to get more gold, he couldn't find the camp spot again. In fact, he couldn't even find the trail. Others have searched for this mine, but no one to this day has found the remaining gold that is hid in that old Dutch oven. It was back during the mid-1870s, during the boom years of the Comstock, when a Wells Fargo stage set off from Virginia City. On board the stage was the driver and his guard riding shotgun, a few passengers, and a 300-pound strongbox loaded with gold destined to the mint in Carson City. Just outside of the mine camp of Empire City, the stage was held up by 4 gunmen. The gunmen robbed the passengers of all cash and valuables along with the strongbox of gold and then hightailed it out into the hills. As soon as the stage reached Carson City, the sheriff was summoned, and within the hour a posse was in hot pursuit of the bandits. It didn't take long for the posse to catch up with the bandits, and a quick gunfight ensued, killing 3 of the gunmen. One of the bandits by the name of Manuel Gonzalez was arrested and thrown into the territorial prison for 20 years. People were sent out into the hills to look for the stolen strongbox of gold but never did find it anywhere. Manuel Gonzalez was released from prison on good behavior after 8 or so years. While in prison, he was noted as saying to his fellow inmates that he could see the spot where the gold was buried from the window of his prison cell. Manuel Gonzalez died a very short time after he was released from prison, and it is said that he never did go to where the gold was buried. If this is the case, then there could be as much as a couple hundred pounds of raw gold still buried in the hills between Old Empire City and Carson City. Could there be untold millions worth of lost gold coins hidden in Utah's desert? This is one of Utah's greatest gold legends, and the truth is that these coins may very well still be out there waiting to be discovered. The story begins in 1849, just 2 years after the founding of Salt Lake City. To support the fledgling community, Brigham Young directed the creation of a mint to produce gold coins. The source of the gold is debated. Some say it came from California's gold fields, others claim it was from the legendary Rhodes mine. Either way, gold coins were struck. Security, however, was far from tight. Coins were reportedly left unattended overnight in the small mint. Now here's where the story gets a bit twisted, as there seems to be 2 different versions of the tale. In one version, a lone traveler learned about the mint through casual conversation. Under the cover of darkness, he entered the mint, scooped up the gold coins, and rode off into Utah's West Desert, never to be seen again. The second version involves 2 brothers, possibly named Baldwin, traveling with a wagon train to California. Hearing about the mint, they dropped back, stole the coins, and rejoined the wagon train. When a posse caught up with the train, the brothers had already fled into the desert. Neither they nor the gold was ever found. Both stories agree on one thing: the thieves got lost in the vast desert, ran out of supplies, and met their end among the sagebrush. Somewhere out there, a leather saddlebag or 2 full of rare gold coins may lie alongside their remains. So how much gold are we talking about? Records show less than 50 of the 1849 $10 coins were struck, but experts suggest there could have been more, maybe even hundreds. Today, each coin is worth well into the thousands. Do the math. That could be easily several million bucks worth of gold coins just waiting to be found. In the 1970s, a rancher stumbled upon some bones, a rusted pistol, and an old saddlebag in the desert. While it turned out to be a lost Pony Express rider, it proves treasures are out there. Could the next discovery be the legendary Mormon gold coins? If so, then it might be time to grab your metal detector and start searching. This last treasure is one that is hidden somewhere in New Mexico. Back during the days when stagecoach traffic was heavy on the Santa Fe Trail, bandits held up a stage loaded with 25 bags of gold coins valued at $150,000. This gold was to be deposited in a bank in the town of Cimarron, New Mexico. This amount of bullion was way too heavy to carry at one time, so the gold was quickly buried. While the bandits were stashing the gold, they themselves were attacked by a band of Indians and all were killed. One of the bandits managed to hide and eventually got away. Fearing for his life, he never returned, but it is said that he told a friend where the gold was buried. It is said that they buried the loot where there were 3 big boulders just off the trail between Cimarron and Ute Park. That 150 grand worth of gold coins would be worth untold millions at today's gold prices. Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed these stories about 5 lost treasures in the American Southwest. Please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you more old, lost mine stories.